Welcome to Studio Talk, where we're your hosts. I'm the King.
And I'm Blaze.
Man, today is going to be an awesome show. We're going to talk about the mindset of an artist and what type of mindset you have to move forward in life. But before we do that, man, you're forgetting something.
Two things. Man, we're going to have a special guest call in. He is a rapper from Dallas, Texas, Confetti the Reala Soulja. And before I get into even more, I think we need to hit him with the intro.
Welcome back to Studio Talk, where today we're going to talk about mindset.
Mindset development. And we're going to talk about two aspects of it. We're going to talk about the aspect of growth mindset, and we're going to also talk about fixed mindset.
Okay.
And
For those at home.
yeah, right. For those at home
What's a growth mindset?
a growth mindset is where you believe that you're in control of everything that happens in your life. You're in control of whether or not you get an education. You're in control of whether or not you make yourself more valuable to society. You're in control of the decisions that you make. You're not subject to your surroundings to make those decisions for you. And that's basically what we'll cover as far as a growth mindset.
So it's a fixed mindset.
A fixed mindset is someone that believes that their surroundings is going to dictate their success in life. It's going to dictate whether or not they're going to educate themselves any further. It dictates how they're going to interact with society. So that mindset is fixed or inherited, and we're not going to get too far into it, but it also is a part of poverty consciousness. But we're not going to get into that on this show. We're not going to get into poverty. Don't get into it.
Man, you be opening up some doors that, I try not to walk into, but I'm gonna tread lightly today.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what is that on the bottom of the screen? What does that say?
Man, that says, vote Jesse Bernard for mayor of Lake Charles. Now, how did that get there?
Man, I don't know, but, I had a chance to talk with that young man, and I think he got some great points of views that he wants to bring to the city.
That's right.
And it's going to really bring the city to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
But back on the topic of mindset, I like to hear more about growth mindset.
Okay, so growth mindset is, like I said, you believe that you have the ability to change your surroundings. You have ability to change what happens to you. Your future is somewhat predictable because you create it. You create the future. So like we had a conversation earlier, guys, off of camera before the show, and it's no secret I'm a diabetic, right? I'm a diabetic. So the choices that I make is going to dictate how severe the diabetes evolves inside of my body and inside of my life. Now, certain things we have control over, some things we don't. So if I make a decision to eat a big old slice of cake my wife baked for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
that is me making a decision whether or not that I'm going to have it harm me or not.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
And y'all don't take this to too personal, because I'm a diabetic as well. But
Maybe we should change the name of the show to Diabetic Talk.
but I eat a lot of sweets sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but I do it in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
But I drink sodas and energy drinks daily. And I just went to the doctor last week, and my A1C was 5.
Really?
Yes.
See, and that's another thing, because you are making a conscious decision to take your meds.
Right.
Hey, and this may be our caller, Confetti the Reala Soulja. Let's welcome him to the show. Hey, you're on Studio Talk. All right, and we have Confetti, the Real Soldier, on.
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey,
Mr.
man.
Blaze.
Hey, man. Welcome to Studio Talk.
Mr. Confetti, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. What about you, man?
All right, this is the King. Uh, we like to touch on the subject of mindset of an artist. What motivates you to get up and do what you do?
What motivates me to get up and do what I do?
Right. Or what
Uh,
mindset should an artist have that they, to make it in the music industry? What are your thoughts on that?
okay. I feel like you have to have a self-motivated mindset,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that you say, I know, it depends on what type of artist is going out there, especially if you're going to artists that get management and get with a record label and everything. But I still believe that artists have a self-motivated, hard-working, and more of a 360-degree mentality. Meaning
No.
he's gonna start thinking outside the box, and just go get it. Be a self-driving, meaning think of it of a as a dedication that
Mm-hmm.
that this is his business. He's independent, and he's going out to get assisted. Well, you
Right.
know what I'm saying, it's an assistant mentality. Not that I need the label and the management to do everything. I need an assistant,
Right.
and I
So
think
so basically, an artist
that's
should have a mindset of needing support versus help, and then
right,
also they should, like you said, think of themselves as a business and not just artist or a rapper or a singer or a
right, right,
pan flute player.
right, right. Right, because at the end of the day, you are whatever your contract, the amount your contract, you are a business, and whatever deal you take, you still an individual, you're an independent contractor. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I mean, it is your business for you to take, but that's what I'm saying. So whatever you commit to, you should think of it as you need support, like you said, not
Right.
as I need help. I need you to help me to get on, to do this, to that. No, I need support. You know, and that way he'll think of it as more carrying the torch versus them carrying him. You know what I'm saying? To get to where you need to go.
Right.
I
Right.
don't know if I came across the right way, but
Well, right, and these are some of the things that we talk about with artists. Having to put forth an effort to have someone create a support system for you. Because if you don't put forth the effort and take it on a personal responsibility, then most people are not going to help you or even offer their support or assistance.
Now, my
right,
question is
right.
going to be this. Now, during this time of this pandemic, what's been your mindset as far as your creativity moving forward?
Oh, for my creativity, uh, I always have had, because I always think I use my music to elevate. So, as my creativity force thinking and finding ways to keep building us as people. I think my music is food. So when I find the things, I look at and I look at the kids along with the adults, inspiring them to keep pushing because
Mhm.
this is a harder time than normal, and with all the if they get into politics and the things they see in society, it kind of dims the light on them being able to be successful and also focus on the new technology that they keep up with the technology and the things. So, because we can't get behind on that, our youth
Right.
need to be understanding, and that we're here to support them. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That's my focus. You know what I'm saying? That what inspires me. So,
now
you know,
you speak about technology. Now, do you think technology is uh, a blessing or is it a hindrance? And by hindrance, I mean, now when you go down the street, you don't see little kids outside playing like they used to. They all stuck in the house attached to a PS5 and Xbox and all of this, but there's no more interacting as individuals. And does that have anything to do with the mindset of artists now that's going out and basically self-destruct and want to kill everybody and trying to create fear in the next person? Do you think that has anything to do with the technology as a whole?
It's technology. How would I say? You know what? They put it like this: as we find ways to use technology, I guess it's look at you can be some evil geniuses. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some integrity. I mean, anybody can manipulate technology. It just do you do it for the good or you do it for the bad? Or I can't say because they're outside, they're not outside. But I do feel like it's some selfish versus we versus I. It's I versus we. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand. But I mean, when you look at it, goes deeper in the community for its parenting at home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I referenced it back to the game system because you're a rapper, right?
Right.
Okay, well, when you get on games like GTA, they got rap music playing. It plays a big gangster vibe with stealing cars and just knocking people off in a game, and it carries over into reality for some of these kids because all they do is stay stuck in a video game. And I think the mindset, they have a difficult time differentiating reality from the game.
See, and that's where the parents have to come in at.
Yeah, right.
And you have to start, and that's going to be part of that growth mindset and not the fixed mindset, because a lot of kids see those games and they think that's real, and especially the ones that identify with the lifestyle that's going on in GTA 5 or whatever version of it is. That's what they see as reality, and not only that's what they see as reality, it's re-emphasized on the game and in real life, because a lot of those kids do live in that type of environment. And so they do feel like that environment is what's real. It's on the game. I'm seeing it in real life. My dad is a drug dealer. My mom might be a lady of leisure, as they call them. And so they think it's real. And now the flip side of the gaming is when you hear those rap songs, best believe those rappers that are in those games are receiving high. They're getting compensated very well to have their placements, to get their music into those games.
I mean, you know what? Put it like this: when you live in all these cities, a lot of these cities, it's real. And I'm not going to say it's not real, because it's some of it. See, you take a smaller town versus, I live in Dallas, and you take it on my little hometown with rain. It might be 1 times over there. Over here, it might be 1,000 times, 100 times more magnified. So it might not seem real. But one thing about, understanding how things fit in reality, in society. So I think and that comes from parents. And again, we're going to go back. And when you take out time with your kids and not thinking, because you got to think about, you go to school, these kids go to school, and then they give you bare basic education. That means your technology basic. You can't think the government is going to teach your kids everything they need to know. You got to take the time out. You can't just buy your kids these games, and they get these games and go out there. And it's like when we was younger, when you watch Kung Fu, they go outside and try this on people. You know what I'm saying? Or
hey man, been there, done that, man. Tried to The Junkyard
Right.
Dog and Jake the Snake stuff, man. The Figure Four.
Yeah, DDT
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that stuff.
DDT, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
so what I'm saying is, you buy your kids the games. You need to explain them how the stuff fit in reality, and that goes back to parenting. Like a lot of people wanted to take hardcore gangster rap music and used to throw rocks at it. But when I was home alone, I look at life as you take the good and throw the bad away. You got to teach your kids how to search for the jewels in life,
Right.
in everything. You know what I'm saying? And stop staring at the negativity and glorifying it. You know what I'm saying? But it's out there, so you want them to rap about it because it's like I call it ghetto cries. You want to know it's out there,
Right.
so they can understand what they're dealing with. But you need to tell them, okay, sit down and explain it to them. Why is this going on? It's a fair reaction, it's a reaction. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people out here because they was forced. It's pressure. But a lot of, it don't mean they get stuck in the reality. A lot of them grow up and, they become like beautiful swans. You know what I'm saying? Like ugly ducklings coming up. But I mean, they just face different adversities, different kids. So,
Right.
and every kid can't. And then you don't want kids to be throwing themselves in the adversity, living like you in a good situation, but you turn around and throw yourself in a bad situation because you don't understand the mentality and you just. But I mean, I think we can't let the government and schools teach our kids. You know what I'm saying? I think.
Right. So we got to have a
gotta
personal
yeah.
responsibility to teach them, not necessarily right from wrong, but teach them to recognize what's real and what's not real, and what is accepted
Right.
behavior and versus what is not accepted behavior. And like we went into, we're talking about the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. We want them to realize that they have the power to change anything they deem is reality, whether they're changing it for the good or changing it for the bad.
Well, I think we need to, it goes a little bit beyond the parenting, because as a child, you can, mold and shape your child in the direction that they need to go. But as young adults, there was a situation, a guy, bought a PS5, wife came home, seen it, broke it. Next thing you know, the guy goes to jail, domestic violence. He throwing a tantrum.
Yeah. Well, that's just to say, and I'm a firm believer of just because you are older male doesn't mean you're a man.
Right. But again, it goes beyond that mentality of parenting because it's happening more in adults. You got guys that don't want to go to work because they want to sit at home playing a video game all day. So it goes back into a fixed mindset, but the mindset just not fully developed the way that it's supposed to. I don't know if it's not having the right male figure as a young one, or is it a curse of technology?
Well, we're not going to deem technology as a curse because technology is what is enabling you to help the common artist out because of the platform that was developed by yourself and Gosport Media. Got to give them a plug, a shout out, where artists independent artists can have the same promotion as major artists. They can have EPKs, electronic press kits. Is that, if I'm right?
That's right.
They have access to over 2,000 radio stations at will, over 3,000 YouTubers and bloggers that all they do is promote and listen to music. And all of this is enabled by technology. And not only that, for the producers, me being a producer, and sometimes we get overlooked because there's not a lot of services out there where people want to represent producers. But with you being able to say, hey, I'm gonna bring music producers, I'm gonna bring artists, I'm gonna bring models together, all under one roof, which is KODPM, and that's all powered by technology.
Well, I mean, I say technology is a curse, but I speak mostly of the things that are not beneficial to somebody making a career. You know, when you sitting at home all day, Xbox, PlayStation, and you know you can't even rub two nickels together. There's a problem.
Yeah, you know, man, I used to feel that way, and now this is going to be a two-parter. So they have to have the mindset, if they're going to sit there and play games all day, they have to have the mindset to know that either I'm going to pursue this as a career or this is just a means of fun. My son, he was an avid Fortnite player, right? And I said, hey man, there's no money in playing video games, and he proved me wrong. Right, he proved me very, very much so wrong.
Well, there are some YouTubers that they get on a video game and they record this and they make thousands of dollars. So in a sense like that, that's your income.
Right.
But for those that are sitting at home that ain't paying their bills and looking for somebody else to take care of them while they playing this video game, no, that's a negative mindset.
Right, and that mindset, and that's what it goes back down to. That's what it all boils down to. Mindset. If you're gonna, first you have to have the desire to do something, because without the desire, you're not gonna do it. You know, your mind wants to keep you in familiar surroundings. So if the easiest thing for your mind to say is, don't do it, don't get out there, is terrible out there.
And another thing, I'm gonna kind of like shift the direction a little bit. Getting into the political arena, people have the mindset, I'm voting for this person because I know this person. I'm voting for that person because that can do XYZ for me. But nobody goes into that voting poll and say, I'm going to cast my vote because this person is offering something that none of these other candidates have done.
Right.
They fall for the political propaganda, as I like to say, empty campaign promises, and nothing gets achieved.
Right. And so, and I understand that and I know that you're campaigning to become an elected official, but to me, there's a certain responsibility the community has that's being represented by these elected officials. So I'm not going to get into it and get real in depth because I don't want to play the blaming game. But when people have someone out there that's genuinely concerned about their well-being, an elected official, right? And they don't vote for that person, and let's say they want to cast their vote for somebody that's more popular. That's like Confetti the Real Soldier. Man, I dig your music, but I don't want you to be my mayor or my governor.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like you gotta, and it's just mine. Just like as an artist, you gotta earn people respect.
Yes.
I think that's the mindset. People don't want to go out there and earn people respect. Earn that vote. And sometimes it take a little while longer to do it. It's not going to, because they've been let down so much.
Right.
That you got to go with the mind frame. When you walk up to somebody, I feel like for a fan, when I walk up to a fan, I walk in the door like, give me a chance to earn your respect, that I can be your favorite artist. Give me a chance.
Right. So
if you give me a chance, I'll get on the job and prove that I appreciate. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask both of you guys. So that respect, it has to be earned, or is it given and then we assume that person is going to earn our respect? Do you earn it first, or can people give it and then you really earn it.
Well, I think that's a twofold situation, and it kind of depends on the person that you're approaching. You know, if that person has been burnt, then you know they're not going to give it to you. You're going to have to earn it. But if that person's a willing participant and believe in the cause, then they're going to give you so much, and then you're going to have to earn the rest. So essentially, you're still gonna earn it. That's my opinion.
Right.
Right. I feel like you can be given it. So say if everybody respect me, and then I can say, okay, because they understand I've earned their respect, and they know how I do business and deal with things. And I can say, this guy is a mini me, but he's himself, but he's mini me. I believe you can be given that respect, first, and then you have to earn it. But eventually, that's the saying goes, who get you there, get you there, what keep you there.
Right.
You still got to earn that respect. He's right, because in order to keep it, you're gonna have to know how to keep that respect. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lose it. Everything's been worked for. So.
All right. Well, guys, there you have it. You had the perspective of a recording artist, and if you don't mind, man, can you give yourself a plug? Can you give yourself a shout out? Let people know who you are, where you're from, how they can find you, and where they can find you at if they want to follow you.
Confetti Real Soulja, represent Dallas, Texas. Music on Spotify, all the internet platforms. You can Google me, Confetti Real Soulja. Confetti Real Soulja Instagram, Confetti Real Soulja Twitter, Benjamin LeBlanc, Facebook, and Confetti Real Soulja my fan page. I appreciate everybody.
All right, man. Thank you for calling in.
Yes. Thanks. Thank y'all.
All right. Well, Jesse, man, you have anything else for the fans and followers of the channel?
Well, before we end, I just want to, kind of just go on my little platform just a little bit. As running for mayor, one of the things that I look forward to doing is bringing entertainment back to the city. Most of the young adults, they spend their money in other cities and surrounding areas, but not at home. That's revenue that we're missing. Since the last hurricane, one of the local casinos have made a decision to furlough its employees until they build a land-based resort. So therefore, we're looking at maybe a year or two before we have that casino back up and going. So that's more revenue that's been taken away from the city.
Right.
If something was to happen in that time span and we lose the other two remaining here, then the city has nothing. So as an elected official, I would like to look into bringing entertainment here that is going to keep the dollars here and bring more money back into the city. In the upcoming weeks, I'll be giving a little bit more as to what I plan on doing if I'm elected, and building the city up to its once glorious state, because we have a beautiful city and we have a lot of things that can be utilized, and it can bring great value to families and tourists.
Right.
And these things need to be really taken advantage of and exploited. We have about 80 to 100,000 cars coming through on a daily basis, and they pass right through here and they spend their money elsewhere.
Right.
So I like to focus on what we can do to get those cars stopping here and spending money here.
Spending money in good old Lake Charles, Louisiana.
That's it. That's going to be the number one thing that we're going to do. And aside from, bringing the employees of the city up to a decent wage. Myself, as an employee of the city, I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. I understand the struggle that a lot of these guys go through. When you get paid, you're faced with some tough decisions. You got this amount in your hand, but you got this over here.
Right.
That's
liability.
That's waiting. If you pay your rent, what are you gonna do to buy food, take care of the necessities till you get your next paycheck? A lot of these things are very detrimental, and a lot of these families are struggling.
That's right.
And I'm not saying that the current administration hasn't done all they can, but there are some things that can be improved upon that can make life so much easier for workers and the city in general.
Right. There you have it, guys. So if you're experiencing too much month at the end of your money, and I think you really need to listen to the plan that Mr. Bernard has for the city of Lake Charles and moving forward. And so, man, you'd like to go ahead on and close us out?
Man, you know what? I don't really have a closing scene today. It's been a little while since we've been here, and I just love being in front of the fans, and I just want to take this opportunity to say, please consider me as your next elected official, and I can't wait to serve the city of Lake Charles.
There you have it. I'm Mr. Blaze.
And I'm the King.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.